So 2 years ago, I made a video saying that Fyre Fest 2 is happening after I saw a video of Billy McFarland coming out of retirement like we were all going to welcome him back with open arms. Even if you weren't directly affected by what happened at Fyre Fest, the videos alone were enough to let you know to never trust Billy with anything festival related ever again. Letting Billy plan a festival is like letting Hitler plan out a summer camp. I don't care how much you've changed, dog, the damage is done, and best believe if Hitler was alive today, he would have that Billy mentality. And 2 months after this announcement, he started selling tickets to Fyre Fest 2, with the most expensive one being over $1 million. And if you're wondering why he did this, it's not just to make money, it's because he still owes people a ton of money, and if someone is actually dumb enough to pay for an experience that at most costs a couple thousand, then the rest of what you're giving him is going straight into his pockets. But after this announcement, Billy goes silent for 8 months, plotting his next move, and while this is happening, all of us are like, is he going to reunite with Ja Rule? Is he going to partner with a rapper from this century? Or is he going to throw us a curveball and partner up with the one and only Yo-Yo Ma? None of those would be the correct answer, and instead he makes another video of him walking down the street saying that there's going to be a bunch of artists, doesn't name any by the way, and then says that he doesn't want this to be just a concert, and mentions the possibility of a UFC fighter teaching you some MMA while you're trying to enjoy a music festival.
If you want to swim with the sharks with a pop star, or if you want to learn MMA on the beach with a UFC champion.
Like I said in the last video, imagine you're trying to enjoy some music and you got this gay nonsense going on right behind you. I'd have everyone come together and suffocate you like you were at a Travis Scott concert. But in that video, I also talk about how he relaunched the website to make it look less like an obvious scam. And it looked like he was somewhat going to make this happen. Or at least get a bunch of people to pay for tickets, which these two guys did, who were even worried if there was even a Fyre Fest that they were going to be able to go to.
I want to be fully confident that when I arrive in Mexico that there is a festival that I can attend.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
But having a place to host this event wasn't even the biggest problem, because according to documents that Billy himself posted, the event that he was throwing could only happen from midnight to 4 a.m., no live music was allowed, and only 250 people were allowed to be there at one time. There are girls who throw Sweet 16 birthday parties with more guests than that, but after representatives from both places he was claiming the event would be at are like, we have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, Billy, he surprisingly canceled the whole event. And not just canceled, he announced that he was selling the Fyre name and all its negativity that comes with it. So now, if you go to fyre.mx, you'll be greeted with this long message that says blah blah blah, some words, maybe a few punctuation marks, and then they'll let you know that you'll be getting the IP, the trademarks. Basically, if you wanted to turn Fyre into the new Grindr app, you are one conversation with Billy away from getting that done. And this was basically the end of the Fyre Fest saga as we know it. He tried really hard to build off the hype of how much hate he was getting, only to realize that people take their music events very seriously, and what Billy was doing couldn't be taken serious at all solely because of who he is. But that was it. We were done, and we can move on from Billy making another public appearance talking about Fyre Fest this and Fyre Fest that. It's gonna blow your nuts off for the time being, because after realizing that nobody in their right mind would even think about doing a deal with Billy the Kid, it was announced again that Fyre Fest 2 is happening at a new date and at another new location. And this time it's not a concert he's putting on, but an extended pop-up event. If you go to the Fyre Fest Instagram, they posted this short video with the caption, "See you on the island." And then if you go to that fyrehotels.com, you'll be brought to this website that has the exact same UI as the last one. Like, we'll get into it soon, but here's how the last website looked, and then here's how the new one looks. But they start out with another long message, so get ready. The inspiration of Fyre Fest started in 2013 when a software engineer and hobbyist pilot challenged Billy to leave NYC and to try to fly a small plane from NYC to a remote Caribbean island. Along the way, Billy overshot, ran out of gas, and was saved by a landing strip on a remote island. The magic of this island created a legend that quickly spread back home. The trips grew from a single-engine propeller plane with 4 crazy entrepreneurs to a talent-led and adventure-infused trip that became Fyre Festival. After news broke broke a few weeks ago that we were putting the Fyre IP up for sale, we got a message. A small beach resort in the island of Utila, Honduras had seen the headlines and they had an idea. They have tapped Fyre to bring global attention to this off-the-map gen, programming unforgettable experiences and simply enjoying life on the edge of the reef, baby! This was a no-brainer for us. So just like that, Fyre has found its way back to the spark that started it all. In early September, Fyre returns to the Caribbean for the Fyre Resort pop-up at Coral View, Utila. A week-long experience blending adventure, spontaneity, and paradise. What better way to make our return to the Caribbean after 8 years? This isn't your typical vacation. No cookie-cutter itineraries. No massive cruise docks or tourist ships. This is raw, organic, and unforgettable. Exactly what Fyre was always meant to be. So again, just like the relaunch, he is trying to sell you guys on something that he has no experience in doing right. Twice. But at least he learned from his past mistakes and stopped trying to throw a festival, and is now, like I said, doing this week-long pop-up event in Honduras, or as I like to call it, North America's Dingleberry. And even then, Utila, Honduras is Honduras' Dingleberry, because here's Honduras, and here's the teeny little island of where the event is going to take place. And these pictures they use aren't even ones they took. They took these from kayak.com. Yes, they are of Utila, but this dude went from paying celebrities to promote his events to stealing pictures from other websites. But it says, about Fyre Coral View Pop-Up. Fyre Coral View Pop-Up is an experience built for adventurers, creators, and the curious. The bi-curious, you say? We found an untapped corner of the Caribbean to bring a group together for an adventurous travel experience. We're not chasing luxury, we're chasing stories. Our trip is about deep dives, street food, late-night bonfires, and waking up to something unexpected. What the hell does that mean? Waking up to something unexpected at your home is way different than waking up to something unexpected in Honduras. Google Honduras travel advisory and you'll see that it says reconsider travel to Honduras due to crime. And if you do decide to ignore that, then make sure you do all of this as well. And even then, within the country itself that is already at level 3, this part of the country is at level 4, where even the government is restricted from going. But anyways, the location is the essence of beauty, energy, and potential for adventure and being kidnapped. Come with us, sleep under the stars, dive into new cultures, and leave with new friends that will last a lifetime. This is Fyre, reborn in the Caribbean, for an unforgettable week. And you might be asking, what does this amazing experience get me? Well, you get a private room at our beachfront hotel. It's an island, all of it's beachfront. Daily chef prepared breakfast. I would hope a chef is cooking my food. Dayboat excursions and guided snorkeling. Beach fitness sessions, kayaking, and beach volleyball. Guided hikes across the island, nightly entertainment and beach bonfire parties, airport transfer from Roton, not sure why that's there, Fyre guest merch and exclusive surprise moments, steps from dive shops, restaurants, and beach bars, and then a private dock for boat days and sunset cruises. Is the boat going to be provided for me, or am I going to have to bring that from home because the baggage fee is going to be out the roof. But you can see this is your standard getaway trip. There's nothing special about this other than the Fyre name. Like, these are all the bare minimum of what an event like this should have. Like, if you're going on a week-long vacation somewhere, I would hope that there would be complimentary breakfast at the hotel. That shouldn't be one of your selling points. This isn't the first time a hotel has been open to the public. But if you were looking for more than just airport transfers and bonfires, then you have your choice of adding on scuba diving, ATV rides, pickleball, because what are you, 90? And or a deep sea fishing experience. So again, nothing special about this. These are literally the only 4 things this island is good for. And again, when he describes the island, he calls it the Caribbean's best kept secret. And it's like, just because you found a place that everyone else purposely ignored to have an event at, doesn't mean it's the best kept secret. It means that you're out of options and you're desperate to let anyone help you put on an event. Even if one day out of that whole week is quote unquote successful. That's what he wants. Billy just wants to throw an event to show people that he's not some big dorky loser. Only it's already too late for that. And when you have absolutely no influencers willing to promote anything for you, then that only reassures us that you're just a big dorky loser. But at the end of the page, it shows the water and land-based activities where they just repeat what they said in the what's included section. The only thing that's not mentioned was the kayaking. Actually, you know what? But kayaking is mentioned in both spots too. But what's funny is that it says kayaking through mangrove tunnels, which is very misleading because when you hear tunnels, you think of an enclosed area. But when you look up what the fuck a mangrove tunnel tunnel is, this is what it looks like. Dead trees growing over a river. Tunnel my nuts. Now I will say the only thing that makes this thing better than all his other events that he tried to throw, which like Firefest and Firefest 2, but these prices are actually reasonable, ranging from $200 to $500 for the quote-unquote penthouse in the sky. Now I like how the penthouse only has one bed, where this double room ticket that costs $150 less has an extra bed. Sure, your room's a little bigger, but what, you and your homie gonna spoon on the bed? What happens in Honduras stays in Honduras. But yeah guys, Fyre Festival 2 has been scrapped, and Billy has now moved on to throwing your standard vacation getaway, affordable to almost everyone, and not just influencers who he hoped would make the Firefest 2 documentary even bigger. I really want to know what happened to these two though. Like, did they get a refund, or are they getting the penthouse where they can explore each other's bodies? Like, let's get these guys some compensation, alright? Until tomorrow though, and actually, maybe not tomorrow, but definitely Friday. And for the new people here, if an event like this is happening on Saturday, there will be no video. And then when it's football season, no video on Sunday, because I'm going to go to my brother's and watch football from the second it starts to the second Sunday night football ends. Bengals bye weeks are an exception. But until Friday, peace.